I vibe coded a design, but now I want to make edits and I don't want to have to prompt everything. That's my goal of making this video, is to show you how I would go about taking something I vibe coded, using Figma to import it as a design, and then edit that design using Antigravity to upload those designs and make changes for me. All right, so this is the website I vibe coded with V0 and Vercel. So I did this really quick in a couple minutes, as you can see in my other video that I showed in my channel. And so I've got 3 channels. I've got Create, I've got Financial, and Adventure. And these are all the same layouts. What I want to do is I wanted to create a YouTube gallery on all these videos. So if you go into the Adventure page, you can see I've already done this. It's got my 3 latest videos. So basically, I try and let Antigravity tell me what to do. So I just asked it, hey, are you connected to Figma? And it's like, yes or no. And then if it's not, I went back into Figma and I grabbed the MCP server code and brought it back into here. And I just pasted it into here and I just said, hey, I need to set this up. Do it for me. And it says, I've updated your configuration with Figma Desktop. That easy. So then I want to edit. So here's where this starts. I want to edit this coded website in Figma's canvas using Code-to-Figma. And so it gave me the tips on how to get started. So it basically said, do this, get the HTML design plugin, paste in the URL, select the desktop viewport, click import. Once you have it, this is where Antigravity becomes your superpower. Awesome, thanks Antigravity. Okay, so what Antigravity does is it just goes through all your stuff. It's integrated to Chrome, so it'll go preview the current situation of the page. It'll go through, it'll enable the server in Figma and tell you can access the link. Okay, so what I did was I went into Figma and I used this plugin called HTML to Design, and I entered this and I clicked import. Boom. This is the page I had. It was just the same version of the other channel. So it just had, I did my home page and I did adventure, and it basically just had this and the about this and this bottom footer. So I created this little block here that had 3 images and video title and description. And all I did was I put it into a auto layout frame that was already kind of the way that this stuff already worked. And so I dragged this into here, and let's see, put it in there. And I aligned some fonts and did a few other things, adjusted the padding. I changed this text here to say watch on YouTube. I didn't even give it the video thumbnails or anything. And then I'm going to go into Antigravity and tell it to do it. And then what you do is I basically go to this and I click on the frame. So I named this to adventure.video studio. They give you the super long nasty name when you import this thing. But then I just clicked share. So I copy the link to this section. Copy that, link copied. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Antigravity and prompt it. I've completed the design refinements and the YouTube integration for the Beto Create subdomain. So key updates, it did the red header, tightened the layout, added the latest video section, boom. New component optimization. See, it's got this ring around that, it did it with the Chrome. And then it says the lives updates are here, and you can open them and check them out. And there we go, it's there. And I can actually click on these and they actually go to YouTube, which is pretty amazing. And you can see this is localhost, so it's creating this locally. So you'll still need to upload this to a host. I use Vercel, and I just do all that through Antigravity too. I just, I've hooked it up to GitHub, which I'm learning. I'm not a pro at any of this stuff, as I said. So I kind of struggle through it and I ask Antigravity questions, and that's how I get better at doing this stuff. But you can see this goes back to the live site, but you can see on my other channels, it did the same thing because it's all the same subdomain. I have the same pattern for all of these. Actually, what's the other one? Adventure, right? That's kind of cool. It asked me, hey, do you want to do this for all subdomains or just for the Beto Create? So then, yeah, you'll go through some other stuff with Antigravity, and you can, if you don't see something that's correct, check it. But the nice thing about this is you don't have to prompt every little thing. Like I could now say, hey, change the main color of the Beto Create subdomain to be purple. So there, it checked it out in purple. But like I said, this orange color should be purple too. And so that's kind of the nuance you get when you're just prompting everything. It doesn't always do the best job and find everything. And you can see if this is the live, this isn't staging environment. If I click on this, so you can see this is what it was like when it was orange. And this is what it was like. Oops, I just gotta go back to the local host. This is what it's like when it's purple. So it's still pretty cool. Oh yeah, it did the bottom stuff too. So that's why you want to be a little careful with what you tell it to do. But it's pretty amazing, and I love just kind of getting better at this stuff. I'm not the best, but I did this whole site without to do any code, which is awesome for someone like me who's a designer. So that's the benefit of doing this in design, is you can say, here's all the stuff I want you to change in the exact kind of specifications, and then you say, here's a link, go change it. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this, and looking forward to showing more things about how I design in Vibe Code and do stuff on Beto.create. Beto studio. I don't know what website it is. Create.beto.studio. Anyhow, give me a thumbs up or a follow if you found this valuable. Thanks.